Hi, I'm Alan Smith and welcome to the show. Well, you may have guessed the subject of the show by what I'm holding here in my hands. It's all about turkeys. So we're gonna have a lot of fun walking you through some fascinating facts about this great American bird and some of the varieties out there that are considered heritage breeds. For instance, this guy, whose name is Floyd. Say hello, Floyd. Floyd is a bronze, a heritage bronze, and it's from the bronze all the other colors or varieties of turkeys come. Turkeys play an important role in our agricultural legacy, and I think you'll find them fascinating the more you get to know them. Right, Floyd? Okay, let's get started. It doesn't get much more American than this. What's wonderful about these turkeys is that they have a fascinating history. The wild turkey, which looks a lot like a bronze, had been selected over time to be more black because the Aztecs used these black feathers in their ceremonial costumes. But then about 1550, it's believed that this recessive gene, which produces the gray feather, occurs. And that's how we get the blue slate or slate gray. And so you have this other color, which I think is very beautiful. And we've been keeping these slate grays on this farm for about 10 years, trying to improve their size and keep their size up to the standard. Now, I actually brought a standard out here. It's called the Standard of Perfection. This is from 1949. And if you look at the description of these turkeys, it's very clear that the black turkey is supposed to weigh 33 pounds as a male and an adult hen 18 pounds. Now, the standard only has a certain number of turkeys that the APA, the American Poultry Association, recognizes, but we're currently trying to make sure that one heritage breed gets admitted into the standard. Meet Coco. When he's strutting and puffed out, we call him Coco Puff, but he's a chocolate turkey. These were popular in the United States in the South before the Civil War, so they definitely are a heritage breed. Now, if you look closely at his plumage, you'll see that he's putting on a darker color that's almost coffee colored, and there are lighter feathers. That's because he's going through a molt. So he's kind of going from milk chocolate to a really dark chocolate. Sounds like it is really more appropriate for Easter rather than Thanksgiving. So let's get back to our story for just a moment. Turkeys make it to Europe, they focus on the black ones, and then in 1620, the English began to come to the eastern shores of North America, and they're bringing this black turkey or blackish turkey. And it's that turkey that then crosses with the eastern strain of the wild turkey, which looks a lot like the bronze. And that is the beginning of the domestic turkey that we all love at Thanksgiving. Sorry, guys. My friend Frank Wreath, who I consider the godfather of heritage poultry, stops by to talk turkey. Frank, I think they're ready to come out.
Let's see them.
All right, come on out, kids. They're really growing well. Yeah.
They look great. They've done well. It was in January when I sent you the eggs then.
Yep, it was.
Yeah. So that's pretty good to be able to hatch these old standard bred turkeys that time of year.
Well, I think they are maturing nicely. They've got great color. Why do you think it's so important that we conserve these heritage breeds?
Well, this is the basic genetics for everything we've got in the world, what the turkey industry started with. These breeds, we can take them back to 1840, 1849, and this was the beginning.
What defines them as heritage is that they can really reproduce all on their own. They're slow growing. There's no artificial insemination required to produce the next generation.
One of the #1 things that make a heritage turkey is not the color of the feathers. That has nothing to do with it. It's their genetics. It's how they're made, their conformation.
Their body type.
That long leg, that long breastbone that allows them to live a long life. That they have not been altered to be short-legged or heavy-breasted, and so they're normal turkeys.
It's the bronze that's the oldest and I guess the largest of the heritage turkeys, isn't it?
Yeah, they're the most important because they carry the genetic genes, the code to make everything else. Even our modern industrial turkey gives its history back to the bronze. They're the key to saving the standardbred or heritage turkey. But what we don't have anymore is breeders, serious, long life, dedicated breeders. To do what you're doing here, I mean, like what you've been doing with the slates, you've been at it for years and years and years.
10 years, as a matter of fact.
I remember my mentor, Norman, after 40 years of him coming to my farm every fall to help me pick out the breeders, he said, well, you have finally learned. It's a lifelong learning process. You know, in the old days, maybe there was not an urgency because there was many turkey breeders across the United States and lots of people with this knowledge, and we're down to just a handful.
Yeah.
This is our American history. This is the living Thanksgiving. These birds carry certain genetic characteristics that's only found in them. As my mentor, Norman, told me, he said, if we lose the old original standard bronze, you've lost it all.
Stay tuned to see a creative way to use turkey feathers in home decor. If you know me, you know I love to use everything. And when you have poultry around, you can have some amazing feathers. You know, in the 19th century, poultry was considered the flowers of the barnyard. So this gave me a clue about using some of the plumage of the poultry in some of my arrangements. So here I'm working on a dried arrangement, which will make a beautiful centerpiece, which will last a long time. Now, these are barred feathers from the wing feathers of a bronze turkey, a heritage breed, the largest of the heritage breeds. We keep them here at the farm, and I absolutely love them. But this is going to make a beautiful centerpiece that, as I mentioned, will last a long time, perfect for the autumn, will take you all the way to Thanksgiving. And what I'm doing is I'm just adding some of these wing feathers from the bronze turkey, goes in there just like that. Now, some of the other natural elements that I've used in here are some grasses, pine cones. You can see some other feathers from other birds, and also the magnolia. This is Bracken's Brown Beauty. We grow it here on the farm. And what I love about it, as it dries, you can see the underside of the leaf, which has this beautiful velvety brown color to it. So the idea is really just to use your imagination. I'm sure you've got all kinds of millet and grasses available to you. And gather up some feathers and pine cones and create something that has your own special signature to it. Give it a try. I've got a great recipe to go with those cold turkey leftovers. Up next. I don't know about you, but I love leftovers, particularly after Thanksgiving. All that great turkey. So one of my favorite things to do is to take some Swiss cheese, some great bread, roasted turkey, put this in the oven, warm it up, add arugula and some of my homemade cranberry apple chutney. Let me show you how to make it. It's really easy. My great friend Sharon McGugan gives us some holiday decorating tips when we return.
I'm Sharon McGugan. I'm a floral expert. Sometimes I'm called a floral fashionista because I do share tips about trends and keep up with what the latest and greatest in floral design is and share it with audiences. I love natural materials, and it comes from my childhood. I grew up outside of Atlanta on a family farm in Carrollton, Georgia, and life revolved around the garden and natural things, and it carries through to life today. Sometimes people find decorating for the holidays to be a little overwhelming, and I don't think it has to be so hard.
All right, Sharon, I'm back.
Great.
Brought a few things in here for us to make this transition.
Perfect.
I kind of hate to take this apart, but it's time,
too.
Right?
We've got to do it. Could
it's
you
so
help?
beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
If it's Thanksgiving, I like to use pumpkins and gourds and evergreens.
The green base is just absolutely fantastic.
If it's Christmas, I like to change that out and use apples and pears and pomegranates and holly. I just feel like you feel more festive when your home is decorated with fresh materials. And I placed it on a fresh floral foam, 15-inch,
yeah.
so that it could be a water source for the flowers for the whole season. Then we can use it for Thanksgiving and then use it till Christmas if we add water to it.
Water's the key. All right, so I'm going to move these over here out of the way.
Okay.
So we're going from yellows, golds, and orange, and now we're ready for the holiday season. So this is just Nellie R. Stevens holly here, it looks like.
And I just clipped it and spray painted it. To put our apples and our pomegranates in, we'll take our wooden pick and we'll insert it in the base of them and then tuck it around.
And then there's the...
I love apples and pomegranates in a Christmas
There's
wreath.
a pear I thought we could use.
Oh, perfect.
Nothing goes to waste. There we go.
So what you can do is add the pomegranates and the apples, and then when you're going to have guests over, put in the fruits that don't last as long.
Nestle
And it
them
kind
in
of
there.
dresses it up a little, but makes it a little special at the same time. What we're going to do now is make this into an Advent wreath. But instead of using the traditional candle colors,
Yeah.
we will just use red for joy. So I have these little candle holders.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes,
And
I've
I'll
used those. I
insert
didn't know you
those in.
brought those.
Yeah, here's 4 of them.
Okay. Nestle them in there so they're hidden among the greenery.
And that's another nice thing about the mesh. They kind of sit above it. And then one right in here.
You want to go ahead and add the candles there, or do you want to add some of your berries?
We can add the berries.
Yeah, these rose hips are wonderful.
Yeah, I love these.
Yes, some of our roses are better at producing hips than others. The rugosas have the largest hips.
And we want to extend them a little so they kind of look like little fireworks around the design.
But they'll stand out a little bit.
And then I just went outside and clipped these.
Oh, good. You found some yopon.
Yeah, very pretty. There's nothing like holly at Christmas, is there?
Oh, I know. It's so good. And you know, gathering these things, I just think that adds a quality when you can take things from the garden and mix them with some store-bought. It just makes it look, I think, that much more soulful and authentic, really.
Not only is it prettier, but it gives you more joy. The joy of collecting it and designing with it, and then enjoying it for the holiday.
We transform that in just, what, 3 minutes?
And then we'll put our final touch.
With the candles.
Now, we can enjoy this for the season, and do you know what we could do with it later? We could take back out the candles and we could hang on the wall and let it be our seasonal wreath.
That's beautiful. Great job.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was. Wonderful. Want to learn more? Visit pallansmith.com for delicious recipes, garden tips, blog posts, and our online store. Now this is a Royal Palm Tom, one of the great heritage breeds, but it's one of the Johnny-come-latelys compared to the bronze, which we saw at the beginning of the show. This particular variety was developed in the 20s in Florida, and then were recognized in the 1970s by the American Poultry Association. It's a beautiful heritage breed that doesn't get as large as the others. It really wasn't created for production, but mainly for small farm use. They're great foragers and great for collecting insects, and make a beautiful flock. Of course, to conserve these great breeds, what we have to do is get them back into the food system, where they can be raised on small farms and purchased by you. This is one way we can conserve diversity, as well as honor the agricultural heritage these birds and other animals have given us. I hope you've enjoyed the show as much as I have, and hope to see you soon. Okay, Vern, let's head back. Good boy. Go check out those girls.